Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Finweek Money Matters. Remember, this is the show that helps you manage your finances. I'm Dumisho Greater. Coming up on the show today, we'll be learning about a car sharing business that is changing the way we rent vehicles. We'll also discuss the outlook for financial services group Discovery, and later on we'll be joined by a panel of experts and we'll be looking at the outlook for the oil industry and what does this mean for both the local and global economy. But before we get into all of that, like we always do, we do want to hear from you, so send us your feedback to moneymatters@avn360.com. But first, let's start off by looking at the editor's choice. Despite a sluggish economy, building materials retailer Cashbuild continues to deliver strong results, growing revenue by 14% year-on-year in the 6 months to end December 2015. Cashbuild Chief Executive Werner de Jager credited the group's no-fuss business model for its strong performance, and this of course is despite that very weak economic climate. But joining us to share some of her views and the lessons that we can learn from Cashbuild is Finweek's editor Jana Marais. Jana, so Werner de Jager says that it's the no-fuss business model. Exactly what does he mean by this?
Yeah, I suppose that's what everyone says is, we know who our customers are and we make sure that we service them accurately. But I think they're very good at that. They know who who their target market is, and you can see that in, for example, the kind of stock that they carry, their store footprint, where they're actually building their businesses, and then in terms of pricing. So they're not a fancy retailer. Their customers want all the basics, and they make sure that they have that stock and at a price that's competitive. And also they offer it's a cash-only business model. So of course that helps a lot in a tough economic climate like we're seeing now, where households are very indebted. So yes, I think they know where they want to be, and that's where you'll find them.
Yeah, no mess, no fuss.
Yes, exactly.
You mentioned the tough economic climate. So what are some of the lessons that we could learn, or other business owners operating in this particular environment could learn from doing business?
Yeah, I always find it very interesting when you do these interviews with CEOs, because we all know how business should be run. You know your customer is, and you give them what they want at the right price. But I think in this case specifically, it's an interesting thing. One of the things that he said is that they manage the details very carefully. Okay. So it's not, if they pick up something that's wrong, they fix it immediately. So getting the basics right and making sure that the small things are actually done right. For them, it's all about customer service throughout the chain. So it's not only the people you deal with in the store, but throughout the value chain, people know that it's ultimately the customer that pay your salary. So the customer service is excellent. And then I think, especially if you're targeting a lower end consumer, the pricing is hugely important. So they have extremely close relationships with their suppliers, and they plan ahead, and so stock outs is something that they try and avoid at all costs. And then in terms of pricing, especially in an environment now where the rand dollar exchange rate is quite volatile and you have to import quite a lot of stuff, they try and secure as much stock ahead as at prices that's competitive. So getting the basics right, I suppose, but it's not always as easier said than done, I suppose.
Jana, thank you so much for taking us through the outlook for Cashbuild. No mess and no fuss is that business model. Of course, some key lessons that we can learn there. One of them that Jana has highlighted is really just forming those close relationships. So that was Finweek editor Jana Marais. Let's shift now to take a look at this week's killer trade.